Grand Rising Soul Tribe, Tracy here, Sweet Spot e-magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, the shares, views, subscribes, the donations, super thanks, super chats, everything. I appreciate it all. We're going to ring this bell. We're going to go ahead and clear out the energy, and then we're just going to see what the message that Spirit has for us Sunday morning. You know how we can see what we can see, but we can't see what we cannot see? It's one of those things. It's like we have a hidden helper, but the hidden helper is someone that no one can see, but you know they're there because you feel their energy. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Swords. This is something that it's over, that you've faced already, and it's past, it's done. Hey, Alicia. And, you know, it's like after you went through this, hey, K Hyphy, it's like that's when, because you had to get to the point where this was no longer bothering you. You was finished with this. Once you were finished with it, that's when Spirit started guiding you forward. Not just guiding you forward, but it's like you, at that point, felt that connection with that passed over loved one. Someone that's no longer here. Someone that you miss, but you can't touch, but you can feel. Hey, Feral Wolf Dog. You have that connection. You could be a Gemini with this connection, or you just have this connection and you feel the energy of your passed over loved one right there, always with you, never leaving you. And something happened. Something happened that blew everybody's mind. You know, it's like you started talking about, you know, this connection, and people started thinking that you were losing your mind. And they was like, oh, you're imagining it. But no, you were not imagining it at all. You know, it's like here's that passed over loved one, and no one could see it because they're looking right here as opposed to looking up. Once again, you know, your intuition let you know that this was someone that's no longer with us. But more importantly, they're still with you. The more you started believing, the more you started trying to connect, it's like the more you were doing what you needed to do to make sure that you had that connection, and not just had it, but honored that connection. Like you were talking to your loved one, you know, out loud. And they were so pleased because they could hear you. And it's like they would answer you in different ways. It may be a song that you hear. It may be a commercial. You might have just been sitting back watching TV, and then you could hear something. And you knew that's what it was. The more you worked, the stronger you got. The stronger you got, the more it stood out. You know, it's like that at some point, you know, you recognize that you definitely had some gifts, that you were definitely connected with your loved ones. But, you know, your people, they made a judgment call because they didn't believe it. They said, no, there's no way. There is no way. But they knew there was a way. And that's why they were trying to go against you to stop that way. You know, it's like they knew that you were the one that was going to that you were the one that God chose to pass this down. Whatever this was, these gifts, whatever it was, you were the one who was selected. This was you, your gift. But like I said, everyone that you was connected to tried so hard to make you feel like you didn't know what you were talking about. They tried whatever they could to get you to turn your back, to try and disrupt you or distract you from where you were meant to be. Someone else is understanding this now too. Hey, J Mike. Someone else is starting to get the picture, get the feeling that someone else is starting to understand that, you know what? They too have this gift. This is somebody that for the longest they were distracted. They were distracted by this Queen of Wands who didn't want them to understand, that wanted them to be confused, that didn't want them to know. And so what they did was they secretly went and did certain things to make it seem like you didn't know what you were talking about. And this person, like you were working in the dark. You were an agent of the devil. That's what this person was trying to make it seem like, you were an agent of the devil. But that wasn't it. You were a healer, a born healer. This could be someone that is an Aquarius, but it doesn't have to be. But this is someone who's connected, who's someone who's smart, this is someone who doesn't really necessarily talk a lot, but they think a hell of a lot. This is somebody who, at one point they thought that you were losing it. Hey, Shaylin. But now they see that you were not losing it, that you were exercising faith. Things didn't start to turn around for you until this King of Swords or this Star, somebody else who also has this gift, somebody else who's also connected, they started seeing, everything start to turn around. They started seeing people that were going against you getting theirs. They started being able to see who these people were, not in the physical, but in the spiritual. They also saw how people would do things or say things or instigate shit against you. And they also saw how this person seemed like they were in spiritual jail and they were receiving karma right away. This is when somebody decided it was time for them to get down to business, for them to stop playing, for them to stop doubting you, because you knew what you were talking about. You weren't crazy. You were paying your own bills.